You say, well, Billy, how long does it take? That quick.
When I tell people I study media and religion, televangelism is what most Americans think of. But if we go back further into the history of religious television, we find that other faiths played important roles that are often forgotten. One of those is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, more commonly known as the LDS or Mormon Church. In 1949, the Mormon Church first launched KSL TV, not as a station for evangelizing, but as a commercial corporation. As one of the first television stations owned by a religious organization, KSL TV illustrates struggles between Christianity, commercial television, and popular culture in early 1950s America. This video briefly outlines some of that history. Very little has been written about early religious television, and even less about Mormon TV. So, I visited the archives at the LDS Church History Library, Brigham Young University, and the University of Utah. After several months of digging, thinking, and writing, important themes started to emerge. Like all new technologies, television had its share of revolutionary promises. But after nearly 2 decades of fits and starts, it began to feel like empty rhetorical hype. Unlike radio, which began without federal regulations and advertising, TV was designed from its start to be a commercial medium. Its high price and network structure forced stations to depend on advertising to recoup investment costs. By the time television became available on a mass scale, believe it or not, it faced an uphill battle for cultural popularity. Critics bemoaned children becoming addicted to the TV set, neglecting homework, physical exercise, and other duties. Many feared television would disrupt the efficiency of the home by distracting housewives, while others worried about the physical space it would occupy. Should it replace the family piano or have its own room? At the same time, advertisers countered these critiques by reassuring Americans that television would complete the middle-class dream of a new suburban home and a happy nuclear family. Studies on television in American Christianity generally place liberal and conservative Protestants into 2 separate camps. The former detested TV as a harmful form of mass culture, while the latter adapted its approach to industry demands and went on to popularize televangelism. KSL TV and the Mormon Church, however, don't fit into either category. While the handful of LDS leaders working closely with KSL were willing to experiment with the commercial television station, a larger cultural consensus about its purpose and utility was far from settled. In the face of such ambivalence, KSL TV began to actively advertise the station and its programs in the LDS Church's central publication, The Improvement Era, a magazine with a worldwide readership. In May of 1950, initial advertisements experimented with different themes and highlighted specific station programs. In its first ad, KSL TV is heralded as better than a 3-ring circus. Another showcased local content like Uncle Roscoe's Playtime Party. Within a couple of years, the campaign crystallized its focus: TV and family. Images like this one appeared in full-page Improvement Era ads, aiming to persuade magazine readers of the power of television to unite families. Television is bringing the American family closer together, the ad insists. Another promised, you'll find fun for the whole family right in your own living room, even depicting families literally closer together as a result of TV. And in this one, inside the TV as if the medium possessed some transcendental unifying force. By physically bringing families into close proximity on a daily basis, television would also strengthen family relationships. And to allay fears about family fights over favorite programs, the ads reassured families agree on KSL TV. In the LDS context, the theological importance of family makes the KSL TV ads even more resonant. For instance, Mormons believe that families can continue after death. Couples and children are sealed to one another in holy temples, in what is considered the most sacred of all rituals. So, images of family members united through television are particularly powerful. Yet, for all their celebrations, the advertisements obscure the uneasiness LDS leaders felt towards television. The president of KSL TV and member of the LDS First Presidency, J. Reuben Clark, carefully defended the purpose of the station at its public kickoff. "We shall do our best not to injure but to upbuild your family life," Clark says. "We do not wish to be intruders, but we welcome an opportunity to be your guests. We clearly see the problems we could raise in the home and the havoc we might work, if we should come to you with any but the best and the most wholesome that television can provide. Clark was not the only one nervous about TV. Passages of church authorities condemning TV, for instance, appeared right alongside the KSL TV Improvement Era ads, only pages away from reassurances that television is bringing families together. Church leader Joseph F. Merrill demurred, "It is too bad when any invention comes along which affords a great opportunity to broadcast information and encourage cultural appreciation, it is immediately taken over by the worst influences in American life. Television, particularly, is off on the wrong foot. It is entirely too trivial, too vulgar, and too suggestive of the saloon." What these tensions highlight is a historical, and what I argue impossible, desire to separate a message from its medium, or, in other words, to separate technology from culture. Mormon church leaders believe television technology to be divinely inspired, but the entertainment industry that accompanied it a moral menace. And the situation got worse before it got better.
Light up a lucky.
It's light up time.
Be happy, go lucky.
It's light up time.
For the taste that you like, light up a lucky strike.
Relax.
It's light up time.
Although Mormon teachings strictly prohibit their consumption, alcohol and tobacco advertisements ultimately proved too difficult for KSL TV to refuse. As the company entered the 1960s, major restructuring took place and a new broadcast vision was implemented. The Mormon Church lost lots of money on television in the 1950s, but it learned valuable lessons in the process. Whether watching TV in fact strengthened family relationships is difficult to assess. What is clear, however, is that new communication technologies present unique challenges for religious institutions, which are so often enamored by their potential but ambivalent about their use. KSL TV teaches us, or reminds us, that the history of media and religion is a history of excitement, a history of anxiety, and a history of compromise.
The lights are